And so it is. So yes, indeed, this is the truth. And as you know, as the good scriptures tell us, it is the truth, and only the truth, and nothing but the truth that sets us free. So when you and I are open to knowing that, agreeing with that, safeguarding that, and being consciously aware in commitment every day that I am in the truth and the truth is in me and the truth flows through me magnificently. Not because of me, but because of the power and the divine essence of Spirit that is that truth and uses me as its perfect instrument. This is a wonderful thought. Truly is, and it's worth thinking about and revisiting throughout the day. But it's only a thought until you and I make it a reality through the way we respond to opportunities in life to be the truth. To be that life in abundance. To be that peace that passes understanding. To be that enough-ness. And be willing to give testimony to it through the way we're thinking, the way we're feeling, the way we're being, the way we're doing. I tell you, it's a job. It's quite the job. I marvel at Spirit having that much confidence in us all, especially in myself. So if we say but the word, anything that ails us can be healed. But the word has to be the word of truth, the word of Spirit, saturated with Spirit's essence. Say but the word. Say that to yourself throughout the days of your life. Say but the word, and the word shall whatever it is you need the word to do. And remember, the word is not my own, as Jesus said. The word is the word of the one who sent me. And sent me means who cleared the way for me to come through. And let me tell you, we all came through, or we wouldn't be here. And so while everybody is racing and chasing for success and then more success and more success, they can never catch up on themselves, because our greatest success, as I will keep reminding us, is the fact that we got born, that we made it into life. So remember that about all the people you think are very unworthy at times. They are so worthy that they made it into life. Now, they may have forgotten along the way. It's like anything else. We land in a certain location. We learn that that location is what's familiar to us. But as we get more and more acquainted with the outer world, we can lose our way and forget who we are and what we are and why we're here. There are many distractions on this plane. It's a school. It's a three-dimensional school, too. And it's okay that you and I make mistakes, and I'll keep saying that. It is, you will make mistakes. You're on planet Earth, three-dimensional school. Just think of yourself as in kindergarten, and then you'll be a bit kinder to yourself, a little bit more compassion when you do make a mistake. There's not a person on the planet who doesn't make mistakes. And that's why it's a school, because we're here to learn. So if you want to be promoted, then take care of the mistakes and you'll be promoted to the next level and the next level and the next level. But if we keep making the same mistakes all the time, we'll stay at the same level of awareness. And we won't pass ourselves on. Notice I said we won't pass ourselves on. Nobody keeps us back, except Oh, Spirit, my goodness, life in capitals. Only one's flourishing and thriving and advancement and more of a greater experience of lifefulness for each and every one of us. And when we're ready to move and go forward, Spirit shoos us along, whooshes us along. Quite happy to do so. But because you and I are sovereign beings and you and I have sovereign freedom, not even Spirit will get in the way of us. Not even Spirit will change up everything so that we can prematurely move along. The movement is yours, and you're in charge of your movement along because you're amazingly, phenomenally, infinitely intelligent and able. But as human beings, we're extremely forgetful. And our job is to stay awake and to wake up from our forgetfulness and remember who and what we are. And don the garments of intelligence and wisdom and understanding and knowledge and grace, so that we can indeed not only flourish and thrive ourselves, but assist others to do likewise. And the one major thing, I've seen it over and over again in myself and in others, that gets in the way of us is judgment. That's all, nothing else. We judge ourselves and we judge others, and we judge others according to the way we judge ourselves. If I'm judging myself harshly, you can bet your last dollar I'm judging you harshly too. Because I can only see from what my vision is. I can only realize out there what's in here. Judgment alone would be enough for us to contend with on this plane. Just getting a handle on that, it really would be more than enough. But because we're so immense in our capacity, the whole gamut is ours to rein in and be sovereign over. You know, I'm going to ask you, and it's a rhetorical question. When you woke up this morning, how did you feel and what were you thinking as soon as you woke up? Where did your mind go? How did you picture your day? What happened in your mind and heart this morning? I would ask you to take a deep look at that, and then when you have a minute, jot down a few things that you remember. And if some of that stuff is not to your liking, for heaven's sake, have another vision, have another dream, have another goal, have another object for the day. Erase it and change it, because you can. You really can. Now, before we look around, before we even have any great sense of this world, our train pulls into that last station. And when it does, we say, what? But I haven't, but I haven't, but I haven't. I haven't experienced that, and I haven't experienced that, and I haven't seen that beautiful thing, and I haven't. Don't know anybody who hasn't done that I've assisted. But they get through it and work through it, and then they know, well, there's even greater than what I'm leaving behind ahead of me. And I know that's a very easy thing to do, to get attached on planet Earth to certain places, persons, and things. I'd made up my mind a long time ago I was going to see every state in this great country. But I'm only at 28 or 29, because I keep going back to 4 that I really love, you know, and have had great experiences in. But I'm sure the others that I haven't visited yet have equal opportunity for me to be in awe. But that's how we are here. We hoard everything, not just stuff. We hoard people. We hoard emotions. We hoard whatever. We're hoarders. We're Klingons. And yet, we could include so much more wonderful persons, places, and things. Not only do we hoard, but we're territorial. That's mine. Territory. All of us can ask ourselves the question today, how are we doing with hoarding? How are we doing with territorialism? And what do we really believe about people? What do we really think about people? What is it about people that annoy us? Take a really close look at what the people in your life annoys you, or in general. What is it in people that annoy you? And I'll guarantee you, you'll find the very same things annoy you. We have to stop being annoyed, don't we? It's not good energy to be entertaining, and the body doesn't respond well to it, nor does the emotion, nor does the mind, for that matter. We just have to stop that now. When you think, there's so many amazing, astounding, awesome things I could be occupying my mind in. So many fantastic feelings I could have if I did. So many inspirations would come to me if I did. Instead of worrying about what he or she is thinking about me or feeling about me, or not, as the case may be. Them, what they are thinking, and so on. How much of your day is occupied by other people, places, things that don't support you feeling great? And I'll guarantee much of it has to do with yesterday or tomorrow. It's not about today. Today is the gift that you and I have been given of life. And it's the only place that you and I are empowered. It's the only place that you and I have power over anything. Today. And my greatest power is right where I am now, with whomever I am. And instead of being present to that, how many of us worry about, just wait till I get to see so-and-so, or I can't wait to phone so-and-so, or I can't wait to whatever. And we miss so much of today. And its opportunities, because there's huge opportunities in every single day for you and for me and everyone else too. So I'm going to ask yourself for the rest of the day to tune in on what preoccupies your mind and to notice what its energy level is. Is it raising your energy? Is it lowering your energy? Is it, nah? That's better than lowering. So who takes over your mind? What takes over your mind during the day? Just do it for today. It'll be more than enough. But you might be surprised. You might be amazed at how you, not being aware of it, not really being conscious of it, you're being hijacked by your mind. You're being robbed of the present moment by your mind. That triggers feelings that suck up our energy. A consistent thought is always accompanied by a feeling, an emotion. It's either causing you to smile, or at least semi-smile, or frown. Now there's where your power is. There's where your sovereignty lies. Over all of that, you have charge over it all. You don't have to let any person, place, or thing spoil your day or a minute in it. Can I please keep reminding us all, nobody has an iota of power over us unless we give that power away. If you feel bad after being with somebody, it's because you've allowed that somebody to affect you and steal some of your energy. But you allowed it. Don't blame them. You allowed it. You believed them instead of believing the truth, your own truth. Now, I don't care who it is that comes to you and tells you you're a this and you're a that and you're the other. They just don't have enough information to make that statement about you. They don't even know themselves, far less you. They can observe some little aspect of you out of your whole life and say, and sum you up in that. And we all love to do that. But you know how that makes us feel? It never makes us feel happy. It never makes us feel whole. It never makes us feel good. It just doesn't. So why would we do it? Because it's one of the greatest games on planet Earth that we all play, and it's a game that's not good for us. Too much of a horror story there. So when do you think you'll take charge of the most precious thing you have? Your consciousness. Is every Tom, Dick, Sheila, Mary, Penelope, and Harry going to take away from you your good feeling at any given time? Now, it's not pleasant listening to people telling you what you don't want to hear, especially when it's not true, especially when they have it skew with, especially when it's based on he said, she said, and now I'm saying. We're coming into the holiday season, which we used to call the holy season of whatever. Now, do you want to be whole in it? If you want to be whole in it, you will monitor your mind. And you will not let it take charge of you. You will be in charge of it. And as the scriptures say, if you want to think at all, think on all things that are wholesome and good, of good rapport. Should read that. Chapter 13 of Philippines. It's beautiful. Now, this morning when I was pondering these moments of ours together, with all of us here, all these beautiful people in the room, and more of you out there tuning in, we're well aware you're here, and we're delighted you're in our energy too. Decide something about yourself today with regard to your mind. Decide what you want your mind to be. Do you want it to be that pure, pristine, wonderful, peace-filled, aroma-filled temple, luxurious temple? Or a house of chaos and all the shades in between? What do you want the house of your mind to be? Because you spend a lot of time in it. This is what came to me this morning, and it was from a little small autobiography of Ernest Holmes, whom I happen to think was a genius, spiritual genius. But then there's only a spiritual anything, isn't there? It's all spiritual. A humble man. He was kind of like Jesus in that he never took anything to himself. He was like Jesus in that he said, no, it's not my word, it is the word of the one who sent me. I do nothing. It is the presence of the Father within me that does the work. Look unto that and be saved. So here it reads in this little skinny book. On April 7, 1960, Ernest Holmes passed on. At the time of his death, the number of religious science churches worldwide exceeded 100, and a Los Angeles newspaper referred to him as one of America's leading churchmen philosophers. Presumably, there was not an epithet written for Ernest, and that doesn't surprise me. I didn't particularly want people to be lauding and applauding him. But perhaps a passage from the Voice Celestial would have been appropriate. The Voice Celestial is the last major piece of work that Ernest engaged in with his brother. The two of them wrote this epic poem called The Voice Celestial. It kind of moves along the lines of some of the great Hindu scriptures. It's a very beautiful piece, and I would recommend everybody read it. You'll get it online. So this passage is very apropos. I have gone into the garden where God walks in cool of evening, and have seen the petals open to reveal the hidden secret. In the full bloom of my garden, here beside my shrine I linger, and to you have lit a candle, placed it on this sacred altar, dedicated in my heart. Where was the altar he went to? Within himself, within his heart, which is, of course, his point of consciousness. And the whole idea is he dedicated it to you, everyone. The God in you, the good in you, the light in you, the power in you, the peace in you, the presence in you. A few weeks before he passed on to a much higher reality, Ernest spoke of his vision for the science of mind. And he says, the human heart longs as a hungry man longs for bread, for spiritual food. It longs for that which will make it whole. And I think that's what our teaching can do. Reveal the self to the self. The longing, the terrible longing at times that all of the mystics felt, and felt often. You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our hearts cannot find rest until they rest in you, said the great Augustine. Even the scriptures indicate that spirit longs for us as much as we long for spirit. O my people, what have I done to thee? How have I grieved thee? Answered thou me. Did I not take you up out of the bonds of Egypt? Did I not hold you in the palm of my hand and call you my own? And millions of examples are out there of this divine discontent, as we call it. And every single person on this planet has divine discontent from time to time. They may not know what it is. Atheists may not know what that is. Divine discontent. That's why many of the mystics suffered greatly. Of course, it's always self-imposed suffering, because they always felt that God was a long way off. Where am I to find you? And then one got a great idea out of the Psalms. He awoke for a moment and said, well, if I go to the highest mountain, you're there. If I go to the deepest sea, you are there. It doesn't matter where I go, you are there. It's not that the one isn't present all the time. It's that you and I are not present to it all the time. So how have we lost ourselves? Where did we lose ourselves? What makes us lose ourselves? What makes us detach from the awareness of that divine presence, which is always a very real and present help? That longing that all the mystics talk about. The longing, the longing, the longing. You've all felt it. And that is why psychologists, some of them say, that's why we cling to people in relationships. And it's not about the people, it's about the longing we feel for the close connection with the divine. That's one theory. And what does that stem out of? That we feel at times we're just not enough. In and of ourselves, we just feel not enough. That there has to be more. Now, there has to be more is very true. And what there has to be more of is the truth about ourselves, the awakening into the truth of ourselves, the realization of ourselves, that there is nothing missing in us, that we're not missing anything. All good is with us. No one on this plane or any other plane gets any more of that than anybody else. Because what we all get is a tendency, an open receptivity to it. Then you and I have to flesh it out. It's like having a do-it-yourself kit. But if you leave the do-it-yourself kit in the box, you're never going to have any good from it, are you? You have to actually open up the box, take out the pieces, and put them together, or get the help you need in order to be able to put them together. But then we're all like children at times. You say, well, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Open up the parts, and then you're going, oh my goodness. As I said, once upon a time from IKEA, I got a desk, put it together beautifully, and I was admiring it, and then I saw on the floor there was a piece there. To this day, I don't know where that piece goes. The desk works perfectly well. And then I told myself, well, somebody by mistake threw in an extra piece. That's my understanding of it. I'm saying to you this morning that I don't care how you came into this room, what you were feeling and what you were thinking about yourself and life and everything else, whether you crawled in here or whether you danced in here and all the various shades in between. No one on the planet has any more going for them than you have. It's all available to you. The question is, how open are you to use what you have? Let it out and use it. That's based on the sense and sensibility you have about yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself, how you take care of yourself, or not. If it's going to me, it's up to me. It's the greatest eye-opener that I got from this teaching. It was very disappointing when I first got it. Oh my God, it's all up to me. Yeah, it is, because only you can be the sovereign in your life, and nobody can do it for you. You have to do it. Why? Because you can. You're equipped for it, very ably equipped to be all that you can be, regardless of your circumstances and situations. And here's another thing. Oh, well, if he, she were blah, 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 he wouldn't have this going wrong in his life, he wouldn't have that going wrong in his body, she wouldn't have to contend with this, and she, you know, that's the greatest load of raw maish, which is the Irish word for rubbish. Just because people have the appearance of something doesn't mean a darn thing. Some of the greatest saints had terrible afflictions. Now, why they had them is the question, but you and I will never know that. They may have chosen this, that, and the other for all kinds of reasons. I remember one great Indian saint, when somebody came to visit him, one of these wonderful, insightful spiritual beings, and he was very ill. And he had taken on some incurable disease because he'd been treating everybody for different ailments anyway. And his visitor said, well, why are you doing this? Why are you letting yourself come down with these things? I would never have thought I would visit somebody at your stage of self-realization to find you in such a weakened state. And he said, I just took on the ailment that one person had to help them understand that they could heal themselves and so on and so forth. He said, but this will not remain. Now there's power. And of course he recovered. I'm just saying this to you, so don't judge the book by the cover. Don't ever see anybody as ailing. See them handling some kind of a condition for whatever reason. And when you're doing it, don't tell yourself you're sick, sore, sorry, ailing. There must be something wrong with me. I don't have the consciousness to stay well. Oh, don't fall into that trap. It doesn't matter what your condition is, you're always well. And when you know that, you'll heal from your condition very quickly. Oh, isn't this interesting? Never thought I was going to be experiencing this today or whatever. Okay, we'll see what it has for me and what the message is. But I'm telling you now, ailment, you're not getting my permission to hang around forever and a day. You can visit, that's it. But you have to really feel that. You can't be faking it or pretending. You have to feel it. You're immensely capable, able. You're immensely filled with an infinite intelligence that can move you through any labyrinth of whatever. If you join consciousness with it, get out of its way and let it lead you through. As the children say at the end of their prayer, over and out, Spirit, and then they run away and play. You and I have to get like that. They have absolute confidence. Absolute confidence. So I'm saying to you now, for the rest of this day, you're going to go out there, tune into your mind, make sure that what's going on in it is a very real and present help to you. And if it's a very real and present help to you, it'll be a very real and present help to anybody who's in your company. And to pick yourself up, your energy, and to dedicate yourself this day to keeping your energy high. Can you do that? Will you do that? You see, the will you is the real question. So know, as you go through those doors, I have everything I need available to me to flourish and to thrive. And it's all because of the power of consciousness. What I know, what I deeply know, what I surely know happens. So unless you know something really deeply like that, don't go around telling everybody, well, I know this, and I know that, and I know you should, and I know blah, blah. No, don't. They have to come to that knowing themselves. You telling them won't help them. They have to come to it. So do you. The only person in your life that has to know anything is you. The only person you need to tell anything to is you. The only person you need to guide in your life is you. Does that ring a bell? Does it make sense? Okay. So for the rest of the day, let me invite you to let no sad, sorry thought or story run through your mind and take away from you your joy. Okay? That's our day work. To monitor the mind and make sure that it just is not going to usurp our energy. Because whatever it is, there's something greater in you that is greater than that is, and you will get out of the way and allow that which is great within you to dissipate whatever it is that's troubling you. That's faith. That's faith. If you and I were never challenged in any way, we wouldn't need faith. Faith would be redundant. But on three-dimensional planet Earth, we need faith. So for the rest of the day, I know there are going to be all those people looking in and all of us in this room creating great vibes out there, moving like these spiraling lights out there and dispelling any darkness they encounter because they will know the truth that sets free. Yes? Yes. Great. It's always a joy to be with you on Casual Wednesday. And as Reverend Catherine said, we're very, very grateful to everybody. We're very, very grateful for the support for this center and its work. We're very, well, I can't go on enough about being grateful. I think it's huge in my life that I be grateful for everything great and small, because it's the attitude of gratitude, and that really keeps us flying on the wings of spirit. Gratitude. Can you imagine it? I mean, even to fly, you have to spread your wings. Keep yourself buoyant. And don't let any person, place, or thing stop you or block you in your stream of flow. Just say, "'Tain't so," and keep going, like that great practitioner. People could come in and say, "My leg is hanging off," and she'd say in her own mind, "'Tain't so." So we're going to go out into the world after we have blessed our offering, and we're going to be the best self that we can possibly be, the best light that we possibly can be, the best of all that we are. And we are going to raise every person up we come in contact with, even though we may never say a word, just passing somebody by. Same for the pets and the birds and everything else. They'll all be delighted by you being there, passing them by in the great light that you are. And that's the truth that sets us free. And why wouldn't we want to be free? I can't think of any reason why not. And of course, all the things we're grateful for, amongst them all is the science of mind and spirit, is anything that opens us and awakens us to the spiritual nature that we are and affirms that. So now we are going to move into being very grateful for our personal blessings and all the good in our lives in any which way. We're going to take our gift, we're going to bless it, empower it, that means, energize it to expand wherever it is. And in the expansion, wherever it is, you too will experience that expansion wherever you are. So we take our gift between our blessing hands and we say, "Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, to prosper. All those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love." And so it is. And as we are concluding this little ceremony now, we are mindful of all those in this day who are struggling with any kind of situation that they're in. And we just want to close our eyes now and send them a nice warm hug of a blessing that will reaffirm in them that somehow or another they can make it through this challenge because something greater than they are is in the mix. So just send a blessing out to all those, and there are millions and millions who this day are in need of some good or another. And we're knowing that that good is to be revealed through their open receptivity to allowing it. And that's the truth, and so it is. Does anybody have a question? Yes, dear.
I've been asking people recently if they could only use one word to describe love, what would it be? So I'd be curious to hear the one word you would use to describe love.
Okay. Asking everybody recently that will listen, I'm sure, if they could describe love, the word love. If they could, how would they describe it? And then, if I could, how could I describe love? And that is the hardest thing to do. No one has ever succeeded in doing this as a human being fully yet. Everybody has had a good chance at it. But for me, if love is anything, I couldn't describe it in one word. I could only describe it in the words of Ernest Holmes. Life. Love is the givingness of life unto itself. So love is that which pours itself out and never stops. It's a never-ending stream. It's an energy. Love is an energy. And it's an energy that uplifts, mends and fixes and heals, brings together, unites, always leaves in its wake good feelings, hope in the hopeless, courage in those without it, and a deep desire in everyone who hasn't had it or loses it easily to be the best of themselves. And I could go on and on and on, and I still wouldn't have described to you what love is as I see it. Because love is not a description, it's an energy. And it's an energy that's indescribable. Now, I haven't helped much of any in that, but that's the best I can do in the moment. Yeah, I'll tell you what love is to me very clearly. I can look at people and I would say, there goes love, from my experience of them. Or here comes love. And they are the most amazing people. Awake, alert, loving and kind. Always present in the moment, whatever it is they're doing. These days, when I have to describe something, I think of a person. Because that's what makes it real. The person makes it real. I mean, words only are words, after all. But if you can attach them to something. If you ask somebody to describe beauty and they say a sunrise, oh yeah, I can see how they would see that. Same way I describe my friends who are in other religions. People often ask me, well, how would you describe Islam? I'd say, Milia. She's such a beautiful demonstration of what Islam is. How would you describe Hinduism? Rini. She's a wonderful example of what Hinduism is. Of recent years, that's what I've been doing. I don't look for a definition. I look to the person that I've experienced that in, and I describe them. Get up, get out, get at it, and know that the first place you look to describe love is right here at yourself. And if you think you could be more of it, then jolly well be more of it. But remember, everything begins at home with you. But as my mother would say, charity begins at home, but it should never end there. So look to yourself for these definitions. And if you find the definition in yourself a little inadequate, then fix it. Change it. Be all that you are. Because you are. Every time you ask what's love, what's beauty, what's peace, what's power, it's you, and it's the last person or thing you would think to describe it. It's you at your best moments. So let us all endeavor to be those people that somebody will look to and say, there goes love. There goes kindness. There goes compassion. See what I'm saying? If you really want to get to know what those words are, you've got to find them in yourself before you can know them anywhere else. Is that any better or any worse? So there's a job for us all. As the aria says, tell me what love is. What can it be? What is this burning yearning inside of me? If I could sing really well, I'd sing it. But if I sang that to you now, I wouldn't have to ask you to go out into the world. Be gone like that. But look it up, that aria, love. Tell me what love is. What can it be? What is this burning, yearning in me? What is this burning, yearning in me? Ba-doo, ba-doo. Now I've just made a very clown of myself by doing that, and it's good for me. Go into the world now and forget I ever sang. I tell you, my dear ones, the only problem with you and me is looking to acknowledge everybody else's song, looking at everybody else's good, looking at everybody else's whatever, and saying, I wish I could be that. Find your own song. Find your own fire. Find your own poem. Find your own word, and then just let it be. Don't have to talk about it, discuss it, get out and just let it be. And you'll have a great, good life. Take care and stay safe and stay healthy and stay well. That goes for all of you too, looking in. Oh, I forgot we're being televised, and I sang. So it is. And I will be seeing you all next time, Sunday, I hope, for most of you, and then however we can meet online. There will be a class beginning very, very soon. You watch out for the title. Well, there is an in-between class, of course. Those of you who are here on Sunday heard about that. A quarter past 10 on Sunday, we go through the Science of Mind book, and we have a discussion on it. And there'll be other things happening too soon. We're getting into that state now where we're ready for all these good things. And make up your mind as we go into the holiday season. This is going to be your best holiday season yet, ever. Okay? Take your joy to the world. Take your peace to the world now. Don't wait for any special day. Take your light to the world now, because God knows it just needs you. And you can't sit back and say, but there are plenty of other people out there, and they're, just doing the good work. I just don't have the energy now. That's not going to get you off the hook. They're waiting for you and your contribution. your very necessary, needed contribution of goodwill, good energy, good thoughts, good feelings, good deeds. They're waiting for you. And you and I will never get off the hook. Because why? You're an individual, original aspect of spirit. And the world would be incomplete without you, the cosmos would. So if you're not doing what you're here to do, it just never gets done. There's a gap. Appreciate yourselves. Honor yourself, love yourself, respect yourself, as one of my teachers used to say, because God lives in you as you. Now, if you're good enough for God, you ought to be good enough for yourself. Get thee hence, wenches. We're only wenches left. Go into the world and be all you can be, and know you'll be happy if you do. I'll see you. Some of you, I'll see you outside. But the rest of you, I'll see you on Sunday.